Vidura left Dhritarashtra and went to stay with the Pandavas. The Pandavas were overjoyed by this turn of events, but that happiness did not last very long. Without Vidura, Dhritarashtra had no clue how to manage the kingdom. After all, Vidura was Dhritarashtra's true strength. The moment Vidura abandoned his brother, Dhritarashtra became mentally weak. Immediately, Dhritarashtra sent his attendants to the forest to inform Vidura, saying, "Your elder brother has taken a vow of fasting until you return." When Vidura heard this, he felt, after all, he is the brother with whom I have lived all my life, and decided to return to Dhritarashtra. However, he placed a single condition: Duryodhana must not go into the forest for hunting. Dhritarashtra promised him, "I swear I will not send my son hunting." Only then did Vidura go back to his elder brother. Meanwhile, Duryodhana continued to bide his time, waiting for the right moment and opportunity to destroy the Pandavas. As this was going on, the Pandavas faced a new problem in the forest: mealtime. Being Kshatriyas, if they wanted something to eat, they could just hunt a deer or a bird in the forest and have their meal. But the Brahmins who were with them were strict vegetarians, and arranging vegetarian food for them proved to be quite difficult. Moreover, kings and their entourages from various kingdoms would often visit the Pandavas in the forest out of concern and friendship. Hosting and feeding all these visitors became a great challenge, and that responsibility fell squarely on Draupadi's shoulders. By that point, the Pandavas' supplies of grains and food were nearly exhausted. Draupadi had no idea what to do. The thought of being forced to send people away hungry, especially those who came to support them, left her in deep distress. As a queen, it pained her greatly to be in a position where she could not even serve food properly. At that very moment, sage Vyasa arrived in the forest and offered Draupadi some advice. "Pray to Lord Surya. You will find a solution." She did exactly as he suggested and prayed devotedly to the sun god. Lord Surya appeared before her and granted her the Akshaya Patra, the inexhaustible vessel. He told her, "The specialty of this vessel is that during mealtime, no matter how many people you serve from it, the food will never run out. But you must be the last one to eat from it. Once you finish your meal, the food in the vessel will disappear. The next batch of food will appear in the vessel only on the following meal. Moreover, these miraculous powers will last only for the 12 years you spend in exile." Having said this, Surya vanished. With the Akshaya Patra, the Pandavas no longer had any worries about food. Even in the forest, they were living quite happily. Through his spies, Duryodhana learned that the Pandavas were well and content, something he simply couldn't tolerate. He sat with his father Dhritarashtra, plotting, how can we make them suffer? Just then, someone arrived to inform Dhritarashtra, "Your Majesty, Durvasa Maharshi is on his way to Hastinapura." Upon hearing this, Dhritarashtra turned to Duryodhana and said, "The chance to fulfill your wish has come in the form of Durvasa Maharshi." He smiled proudly. Durvasa Maharshi soon arrived in Hastinapura. He was well known for his short temper. One might even say he was born to curse people, as many stories recount his curses. Dhritarashtra received him with the utmost respect and hospitality, and when Durvasa Maharshi was about to leave, Dhritarashtra sought his blessing. Then Dhritarashtra pleaded with him, "My lord, just as you have blessed me, please also bless my brother's children, the Pandavas, who are currently in the forest. I beg you, go to them, accept their hospitality, and bless them as well." Durvasa Maharshi agreed and set out with his entourage to meet the Pandavas. "I shall send word in advance," Dhritarashtra said, "so they can be prepared." But deliberately, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana did not send any such message to the Pandavas. Their plan was to make Durvasa arrive at the Pandavas' place right after Draupadi had eaten the final morsel from the Akshaya Patra. At that point, there would be no food left for the Maharshi and his followers. Enraged by the lack of hospitality, Durvasa, in his anger, would supposedly curse the Pandavas for life. Things went exactly as planned for them. The moment Draupadi finished her last bite, a messenger came to tell her, "Durvasa Maharshi and his entire entourage are on their way here to be blessed by you." Friends, can you believe that reading just one incredibly interesting story can completely change a person's life? If you simply read this story to your children, it can teach them all the values they will need in life. Would you believe that? Would you believe that for any problem you are facing or about to face, there's a solution hidden in these stories, waiting to be discovered? Yes, it's possible. Only with the greatest epic ever told in the history of mankind, the Mahabharata. This story is 100 times more extraordinary than any super hit movie. It's a challenge. The Mahabharata, written in Vikram Aditya's style, is available in 2 parts. as both physical and ebook versions on Amazon and 43 other online stores. It's also available worldwide in 54 languages. I've included the links in the description below this video. Order it right away. Because it's not just a book, it's a treasury of everything you need in life. When Draupadi heard that Durvasa Maharshi was on his way and there was no food left for him, it felt like a thunderbolt had struck her heart. There is no more food left in the Akshaya Patra, she thought. What should I do now? In her mind, only one name echoed, Shri Krishna Paramatma. She immediately called upon Krishna in prayer. Krishna appeared, smiling. Draupadi, why have you called me? He asked. She explained everything that had happened. Krishna said, hand me that Akshaya Patra. But there's nothing left in it, Krishna, she protested. It doesn't matter, just bring it, he replied. Draupadi brought the vessel to Krishna, who inspected it closely. Spotting a single grain of rice stuck in a corner, along with a tiny piece of vegetable, Krishna took both and popped them into his mouth. After a moment, Krishna exclaimed, "Ah, this is delicious. My hunger is completely satisfied." Draupadi stared at him, puzzled. Krishna, why are you joking at a time like this? This isn't a joke, Draupadi, Krishna said. Truly, my hunger is satisfied. With that, he let out a contented sigh. At that same instant, far away, Durvasa Maharshi and the hundreds in his entourage felt as though their hunger too had been quenched, even without eating a morsel. They blessed the Pandavas and departed. When Duryodhana learned that this scheme of his had also failed, he decided to take matters into his own hands. Summoning his court, he declared, "We're going to take some of our army and go to a part of the forest to count our cattle, treasure, and weapons. We'll attend to the kingdom's affairs there and also have a bit of entertainment." Thus, Duryodhana, Karna, a few learned men, and some troops ventured into the forest. They set up camp very close to where the Pandavas were staying. Duryodhana planned that someday, perhaps under the cover of night, they would kill the Pandavas. He and Karna decided to execute this plan in 2 days. In the meantime, Duryodhana, Karna, and their soldiers roamed the forest to admire its beauty. Near a river, they saw some lovely Gandharva maidens bathing. Captivated by their beauty, Duryodhana decided that he would bathe alongside them and began to approach the water. But the Gandharva guards blocked his way, saying, "You're not allowed here." An enraged Duryodhana roared, "This is my kingdom. I am king here. Who are you to stop me? Get out of my way." Still, they refused. "You are not our king," they said. "Our king is Chitrasena. You can only enter if he gives his permission. Then let him come out and fight me. I'll kill him, and then I'll do as I please," Duryodhana shouted. Hearing this, Chitrasena emerged and declared, "If you can defeat me in battle, I'll personally hand over these Gandharva maidens to you and leave." A fierce battle began. Duryodhana, Karna, and the Kaurava army clashed with Chitrasena's forces. But the Gandharvas were not as weak as Duryodhana had expected. In fact, they were extremely powerful. Each blow from a Gandharva would knock down one of Duryodhana's soldiers. Karna realized they couldn't win without using divine astras. So he told Duryodhana, "I'll go fetch my bow and weapons from our camp," and left. In no time, within about 10 minutes, the Gandharvas overpowered the entire Kaurava army, capturing Duryodhana and tying him up with ropes. Friends, the story in the next episode ramps up to an entirely different level. Don't miss it. We'll meet again next Saturday at the same time. In the meantime, order the Mahabharata books I've written. The links are in the description below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so right away. Till then, take care. Bye.